Hi, I'm Chauncey Navarro, and this is the Inspired Word, where we're doing a verse-by-verse study through the book of the Revelation of Jesus. We are in chapter 19, verse 7 right now, which goes on to say, "Let us be glad and rejoice and give him glory, for the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his wife has made herself ready." Now, we've been going on, we were talking about how in chapter 18 it was where the world's view of the destruction of Babylon with the weeping and mourning, but heaven's view in the beginning of chapter 19 is rejoicing. And it goes on, this is the first verse in chapter 19 in the beginning here, that in the rejoicing goes on to point out that the marriage of the Lamb has come, and he's made his wife, and his wife has been made herself ready. Now, it starts out with, "Let us be glad and rejoice and give him glory," to God. And it's because of the marriage of the Lamb that's come. And his wife has made herself ready. Okay, now his wife, this is the one, this is the joint group of believers as a whole who make up the body of Christ, who become one with him. I don't know if you're familiar with the verses in Ephesians that go on to say, where he's talking about husbands and wives, and he says, "But I speak not of husbands and wives, but of the mystery of Christ in the church." Now the mystery he refers to, this is like in 1 Corinthians where he says, "I tell you a mystery, we shall not all perish, but at the last trumpet be caught up into one body, the body as the bride to him." In Isaiah he says, "Your dead shall rise, enter now into your chambers for a little while until the wrath is past." This is the bride, the chamber he's referring to is the word in the Hebrew uses the chuppah, is the honeymoon suite, where the bride and the groom would enter into before they come out to the marriage. So here at the rapture before, the mystery of God, where the bride was caught up to be joined with Christ spiritually as one body, to become one with Christ, and then to come out to the marriage of the Lamb here as the bride of Christ, those that were caught up to him during this time in here. And she's made herself ready. She's prepared herself. She's made herself this spotless bride to come as the bride of Christ, the wedding of Christ. And you'll see later on where they tie this bride of Christ into the New Jerusalem coming down as a bride, because they make up the pillars in this Jerusalem as well. That they're the foundations. You know, you look at the foundations of the New Jerusalem, and it's the 12 apostles going through here, how each one of them makes up each of the foundations of the 12 floors in this giant 144-mile square city. Anyway, we'll get into that later on when we get to the chapters on it. But I hope I'm not getting off track too much here, but it's just the fact that it just starts to bring in the marriage of the Lamb, a very important, critical point on here. So I'll see you back here for verse 8 in our verse-by-verse study through the book of the Revelation of Jesus.